The fentanyl pandemic has made its way into the hallways of OTHS. O'Fallon student Aubrey Dote lost her best friend to an accidental fentanyl overdose.
I lost my best friend because of stupid decision. I don't want this to happen to anyone else. I wouldn't wish anything like this on my worst enemy. I feel like especially at this age, kids are so easily influenced because of who they surround themselves with, and they feel the need to please others and make themselves look better, and doing things such as drugs and drinking. I understand, like, we're in high school, it's going to happen, but it's not the way to go.
How would a normal high school cheerleader accidentally ingest a deadly drug? Sergeant Zachary Hurd with the Illinois State Police explains.
Not every drug dealer knows what product he's getting. You're relying word of mouth and hoping that the product you have is what they say it is. They will be resembling oxycodone pills, like a blue labeled M30 pill. Very hard to distinguish from a real oxycodone versus one that's laced with fentanyl.
Sergeant Hurd understands why students may choose to self-medicate, but says there are dangerous unintended consequences.
Life is not easy for anybody, and the desire to self-medicate will be there to escape the realities of life, to escape some of the atrocities, to escape some of the hard feelings. I know it'd be naive to say don't do it. The just say no approach, people are going to have the desire to consume. The potential risk versus reward to take away your momentary feelings might result in your death immediately.
A DEA public affairs specialist explains how the cartels are infiltrating the prescription drug market.
There are no legitimate pharmaceutical pills online because it's illegal to sell them online. We break our seizure records every year for the last 3 years. The drug business is a $500 billion business, and this is one way that they can make more money than any way because it is so potent that they don't have to have very much.
The majority of pills that the DEA is confiscating in our region are deadly.
I would like to note that what we're finding for the first time is that 7 out of 10 pills that we're seizing contains a lethal dose.
O'Fallon's local hospital is seeing a steady stream of accidental fentanyl overdoses.
Opiates like fentanyl bind to opiate receptors in your brain, which is great for treating pain. However, there's some adverse effects as well. Higher doses, the opiate receptors actually limit your respiration, so your breathing goes down, you become less responsive, and that can ultimately result in death, which it often does.
Instead of turning towards drug abuse, OTHS social worker Megan Buck explains healthy coping mechanisms.
We're coming off a COVID-19 pandemic. Between the pandemic and the mental health pandemic have been a real reason for the increase in fentanyl overdoses. I think students that are starting to find themselves in that situation where they are relying on unhealthy solutions to deal with stress is they definitely need to talk to somebody at school. Anything you share with a social worker is private and confidential, so we can get resources, even come to that point where they need to talk to a parent to get them the resources for possibly some rehabilitation to help them get off that unhealthy coping skill of using any kind of drugs, real or fake, to help with stress.
If your family member or friend accidentally ingests fentanyl, experts advise Narcan on hand.
The availability of them to have Narcan is pretty important. So it would behoove anybody who's a family or friend of someone that habitually uses these substances to have Narcan in their body, because it does save lives, quite a few.
The CDC says fentanyl overdoses have tripled in teens in the last 2 years. Don't become a part of the statistic. Reporting for Panther Beat, this is Ella Peterson and videographer Mason Cornell.